Hello, everybody, and welcome to season 2, episode 2 of Irrelevant Sports. I'm your host, Marissa Womack, and I am here with a very special guest. This is Annaka Hall. I'm going to let her kind of give a little intro before we jump into the questions that we have.
Yeah, hey guys, I'm glad to be here. My name is Annaka. I live in Chattanooga, Tennessee, and I work for the Chattanooga Lookouts minor league baseball team. So super excited to dive right in.
Yeah. So before you got to the Lookouts, you worked a little bit with University of Tennessee, Chattanooga. Could you just kind of give me a little bit of detail on how your journey in sports media started?
Yeah, so actually, I grew up playing sports, so I've always had a passion for that, and I knew going into college I wanted to work in sports. So I found out that Chattanooga had a sports management program, so I declared that as my major, and then wasn't really sure what I wanted to do, so I just kind of took a bunch of different classes. I interned with our football team, so I did film production for them. So I did field practices. I helped with recruiting. I found out football was not for me, so that was fun. And then, yeah, I just interned where I could, helped out where I could in any of the sports that were needed. And yeah, so that was really fun. Learned a lot about myself, and then I had a sports marketing and promotions class, so really found my passion for marketing, especially in sports through that. So that was really fun.
Yeah, awesome. I feel like I was kind of similar. Like I was always around sports and then went to college with a different major and transitioned into sports and fell in love with the marketing side, definitely on like a classroom perspective, and like the books and everything. And yeah, marketing is so fun.
I I didn't really know much about sports marketing. I knew, like, obviously I've watched sports growing up, so I've seen it all. I just didn't know all of the moving parts and pieces. And so we had to do a presentation on a promotional night for the Lookouts. Actually, the Lookouts came, and that's kind of how I got involved with them. But I just fell in love. I thought it was so fun. Being creative is just a passion of mine too. So it was just a lot. It was really cool. And then I got really excited and then just stuck with that.
Love it. So what I mean, we just kind of talked about this a little bit in detail of what kind of drew you to this side, and just as content creation goes and for that side, especially with the Lookout, how that kind of came to be.
Yeah, so kind of like how I just mentioned, I love being creative. I've always been into like doodling and drawing and painting and just doing creative things on paper. And so I took my passion of being creative and my passion for sports and was just like, yeah, this is the perfect fit. I wasn't really super experienced in like the content creation side of things, but I felt like it just came naturally with the creative passion that I had growing up.
Yeah.
So
Do you want to talk a little bit about your LinkedIn and how that side of your personal content creation is?
yeah, so it's actually funny. I didn't have a LinkedIn until I started with the Lookouts back in 2023. Like I didn't have one through college. I don't know, I just never made it a priority, but I feel like I never pour into my own social media accounts. So like LinkedIn is the perfect mix of like my personal and my work. And so I just pour so much into like the Lookout social media. And so I've made LinkedIn kind of like my personal slash work. And it's just really fun to share with everyone like what we're doing. And so I've on LinkedIn basically I've started to post our homestand highlights. So it's basically all pictures throughout our homestand and just like the fun promo nights we're having and different things that I get to capture on and off the field, like going to the children's hospital or having Grateful Dead night. And so I just feel like that's been really fun and people get just an inside scoop of what like my personal life looks like, but also gets to share all the cool things we do in minor league baseball.
Yeah. Recently, you guys just did a schedule release with
Mhm.
the Children's Hospital. Do you want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, so the Chattanooga Lookouts are actually getting a new stadium next year, and our naming rights partner is Erlanger, our local hospital. And so I just thought, what a perfect way to highlight them as our partner transitioning into next year to do a schedule release with the children. So we had them draw the different logos in our Southern League, and they did amazing, and it was awesome. And it just was really cool how we can do things like that. Like, community in Chattanooga is very, very important to us. And so being able to pour into our partners and the community and just getting to work with those kind of kids who are just so incredibly strong. But I feel like normal schedule releases are you just throw up a graphic with your calendar, or it's like a funny thing, kind of like how the Titans did, where they like went on Broadway and asked like the people to guess their logos. I just wanted to have like a sentimental kind of tie, and so that was a really special project that I got to work on.
And if people who are listening don't really know, going back to the last conversation on her LinkedIn, we work what 28 out of 30 days,
Mm-hmm.
a month basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, and those days are like 12 to 14-hour days. So being able to have time and make time for like growing in your own personal media can be hard and take time. And so just being able to dedicate that takes a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people don't realize that sometimes. And even some people like don't really understand what the minor leagues are of like
No.
actually being a professional team. Like we get the rehabbers and like we get the guys coming in, and especially like with the bananas and independent leagues and things like that
Mm-hmm.
pulling up, people are like, okay, so you guys are basically the same, and you have to explain that you're not. So
Mm-hmm. I know everyone's like, why don't you play this fan of bananas? I'm like, hey, so it's a little different.
yeah. Um. Okay, so going from your time from football to your current role in baseball, what would you say are some big lessons or skills that you've taken away?
Yeah, so honestly, it's funny. You always hear the saying, like, it's not about what you know, it's about who you know. And while that's true, for me, more importantly, it's about who knows you.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I can say, oh, yeah, I know the president of the Lookouts. And then you can go ask him, who's Annika? And he's like, oh, I don't know. But, like, be memorable. Like, make sure people know who you are. Go out of your way to introduce yourself. Get your foot in the door any way that you can. And volunteer, intern with people, go to networking events. Like, that is what really got me my job with the Lookouts.
Mm-hmm.
My professor and I, we did research together at UTC, and so he knew the president and the vice president of the Lookouts, and so he kind of vouched for me and was like, "Hey, like I see what Annika does in the classroom and just all around our community. Like she's a great asset. You should hire her." And so pretty much I owe my getting my job to him vouching for me. I mean, obviously, like I was qualified, but like seriously, it's about who knew me and who could vouch for me. So I think that's super important.
Yeah, yeah, I totally agree. I think that a lot of people do go into it of like it's all a big network, and especially
Mm-hmm.
like in this sports realm specifically, like I think that going from the Rays to the Kings, like I realized actually how much connect the sports realm has, because like they were on different sides of the country,
Mm-hmm.
and like everyone knew each other and like had at one point worked together. So
Yeah, it's crazy, especially like baseball is just so like crazily connected somehow. It's super cool.
yeah, yeah. Can you walk me through what a typical day looks like in your current role?
Yeah, so right now, so I have two sides of my role. I have digital content, which is basically social media, and then I have sponsorship fulfillment. So basically, right now, my role is more social media based. So right now, I'm just doing a lot of like planning, content creation, scheduling, managing just our social medias, engaging with the community, trying to keep relevant content that follows the trends and stuff. But then for game, like, so that's like my off at 9 to 5, and then when the game hits, I'm running around with the camera trying to get content, getting pictures of what's going on. That kind of falls under my sponsorship fulfillment too. So like, let's say we have a sponsored night, I'm getting proofs showing our sponsor that like, hey, we have your logos up like we said we would, we're doing your first pitches, PA reads, and all that. I'm just posting on stories and doing night recaps and posting player highlights if somebody hits home run and just things like that.
Yeah. Could you take me through kind of the process of booking a sponsorship deal and kind of how that looks like from both ends of starting it to finishing it and activating it?
Yeah, so my job is less selling the sponsorships and more just like proposals, proof of performances, and things like that. But I feel like the Lookouts have done a really great job, like building a community. We call ourselves a community gathering place. So honestly, I won't lie, like it's pretty easy for us to have people wanting to sponsor with us because they know that we just are a great, we have eyes that they will get eyes when they are at a Lookouts game. And so a lot of people come to us and we work with them. And my job was to build, or is to build out proposals, so showing like how much a game title sponsorship is, or how much a radio ad is, or how much a game program ad is, and like different things like that. So I work with our vice president who sells our sponsorships, and he'll be like, hey, build me a deck for Mueller, and I'll put that together, send it to him, and then we'll have conversations with them. And then my job on the flip side of that, once they do sign the contract, is to basically prove what we said we were going to do, whether that's on, if it's a social media sponsorship, I show data and analytics and things like that, or if it's a outfield wall sign, I'm showing where like the players are like trying to catch foul ball in front of their outfield wall sign. So I'm just getting different things like that. And then the sponsorship side is, for me, is more in the off season, so I'll build out the proofs in the off season once everything's kind of slowing down.
Yeah. And then how did your marketing production assistant role kind of help you transition and prepare you for your current role?
Yeah, so I will owe it a lot to Alex Tainch. He is now Alex Tainch Davidson. He no longer works at the Lookouts, which is really sad, but he was my boss, supervisor, whatever you want to call it, and he taught me so many things. He was amazing, just so seasoned in minor league baseball and marketing, and so he really taught me everything I needed to know about like promotions, marketing, things like that. But I will say I did take it initiative to learn things. Like I was not super experienced in social media, had no clue what the deal and strategy and all the things for that was like, and we didn't have a social media person at the time. So my marketing role during that internship was social media. And so they were basically like, we don't really have a clue either, so let's figure it out together. So I just kind of looked at what other teams were doing, what worked for them. I got on LinkedIn and connected with people, and kind of how I did with you the other day. I called or I messaged you and I was like, hey, can we hop on a call to chat? Like, I just want to learn from you and hear what you have to say. So that has been super helpful for me. But yeah, just listening, learning, asking questions, meeting people, networking has really, that internship helped me learn so much to prepare me for what I am now. And I'm still learning every day. So,
Yeah. Yeah. And I think what people don't realize too is like a front office for a minor league team like mine is, I think, 19 people max.
mm-hmm.
And so you're wearing so many different hats. Like I might be the manager of game day programming and promotions, but I'm doing like the events, I'm doing all of the on field stuff, I'm doing the scripts, like I'm doing all these things. And then on top of that, like there's things that aren't assigned to you that you're also planning, like bigger events that was not on my job description. Tarp pools are on your job description, but that's a different thing completely. Like even like social media, like I'm always helping out with Lainey
Mm-hmm.
just where I can, and
Yeah.
especially is when a creative manager is running the photography, videography, graphics, it just becomes a lot. And even like me and you have talked about your role on the social media side of like how much people don't realize that you're doing on a game day, and especially being there for 12 hours and making sure that everything is executed.
Mm-hmm.
Makes me laugh.
There's weather and you're having to stand at the tarp instead of going to get the pregame petting zoo for ag night, and you're like, ugh, like that was on my plan for today.
What skills or qualities have you found most important in digital content?
Yeah, so I mean, kind of just what we were talking about, adaptability. I mean, trends change, things don't go your way, or something comes up, people don't show, or whatever happens. You just have to be adaptable. constantly looking at what other people are doing and just seeing what works, what doesn't work. I would say that mainly for my social media role, just like with weather too. Like you have a whole plan for, oh, tonight's ag night, but it gets rained out. Like, what am I going to post? I've turned to is just making a joke out of it. Like if you can't cry, you gotta laugh. You know what I'm saying? So just trying to pivot and work things out, and then probably for the sponsorship side, um, communication and relationships. I feel like that's like just super important qualities to have. Collaborating with your partners and making sure that they're valued and feel the value. So yeah.
Yeah. You had the chance to see different sports from collegiate to professional. What differences stand out most to you?
Yeah, so it's actually funny, like, to be honest with you, before I worked in minor league baseball, I had no clue what minor league baseball was. Like oh, it's professional baseball, whatever. No. It's it's entertainment. You come to watch people jumping around on the dugout and doing dizzy bat race. Like I had no clue that that's what it was, and so it's just funny like going from like football where it's like community school pride based and student athletes to like literal these men like that's their job, but then like there's an entertainment show going on in the background. Like
Yeah.
baseball is the centerpiece for like what we're doing, but people don't come to watch. I mean, they come to watch baseball. Some people do, but like a
No.
lot of people, like I go to a Tennessee football game to watch Tennessee football.
Hmm.
I'm not going to a Lookouts game or a Senators game to watch baseball. Well,
Yeah.
I might, but like, you know what I'm saying. It's funny. Like, I never realized like it's a performance. You're going for the show.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm from the like Gwinnett area, so I was always raised like around we were the Gwinnett
Mm.
Braves.
Oh
And
yeah.
so like then we became the Stripers, and I would go to those games like thinking that I was basically watching the Braves. Like I had no idea that
Hmm.
there was like a separation between the two, and like even in high school, like looking back, I'm like, oh man, like I probably should have been on like the promo team or like doing something fun like that, and I just had no idea about it.
Yeah.
And so then, like, as I got to college, they were like, minor leagues, minor leagues, minor leagues. Like, you need to work in the minor leagues. And if it wasn't the minor leagues, it was tickets, tickets, tickets. And I was like, okay, so I think I'm going to go to the minor leagues, minor leagues, minor leagues. Like, I'm good with that, being on that side of things. But yeah, it's really crazy. And it's crazy that, like, sometimes we'll have rehabbers come.
Hmm.
And I'm like, okay, so people, I don't think that people are understanding, like, that we're literally getting, yeah. And I think that sometimes, like, myself included, like, I take things for granted. And
Hmm.
like I have like my promo team, or like when I'm recording a video with the guys, like just being able to know them on like a personal level, it's like
Hmm.
people would kill for that, and like would pay so much money to just be able to like have a dinner with them and things like that. So it's so weird, and it's such a privilege, but yeah, it's very weird sometimes.
Yeah. I feel the same exact way. Like we had a rehab the other day, and everyone's like, "No way!" Like Wade Miley, and I'm like, "Okay, who's that?" Like I'm not really familiar,
Yeah, I know.
but like that's really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did like we had a deaf awareness day the other day, and one of our top prospects who is in double A, he we were teaching him how to do sign language, and so he was in the video, and like you said, having that like personal relationship with
Yeah.
them and like being able to call them a friend, like
Yeah.
they really are friends, and then you get so excited for them when they move on, but you're kind of like, dang, like he was my buddy, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
It's fun.
No, today someone from the River Dogs got called up to the majors, and I was like, oh my god, like we're so proud of him because he got traded, but it's like with the Tigers, and the Tigers are killing it right now. So I'm like,
Hmm.
the fact that he even got called up is insane, and like that's just such like a, like if you knew him on a personal level, you knew like that that's such like a good thing for him. So it's so crazy.
It
So
is.
crazy. Um with that kind of realm, with being a female in both baseball and football, like how do you think that that has been perceived by people?
Yeah, honestly, I mean, I think there. I mean, there's always going to be some like preconceived stereotype about, oh, she's only working for them because she thinks they're hot. And I'm like, actually, I don't care about them.
I don't
Like,
know any of these guys.
you know, like I think that there's always going to be that stereotype, but just kind of getting to prove like, no, I'm a professional. Like, I'm here to do my job. I'm here because I deserve to be here, and I get the privilege to work in a sport that is male dominated, and like I kick butt. And like I try not to let it bother me. Like whenever Women in Sports Day comes around and all the men are like, oh my gosh, it's Women in Sports Day or whatever. And they're like, why do you guys get a day? And I'm like, because this is cool.
It's
Like we deserve it.
11 months.
Like literally. Yeah. I don't know. I just try not to let it get to me and just prove that like I'm a professional and I deserve to be here and you're wrong.
Yeah, I love that mindset so much. um, okay, what has been your favorite project, campaign, moment during your time at the Lookout so far?
I love this question because it's actually like I'm living in my favorite thing that's happening right now so far. So, a little bit of backstory. Obviously, I run the social medias, but on Facebook specifically, the Lookouts have had this guy comment every single day since literally last July, like over a year, and he keeps asking for 25-cent hot dogs. And like we kid you not, it was every single post. It didn't matter what it was about. We were posting about our new stadium and he was like 25-cent hot dogs. And so then like the community of Chattanooga like caught on to this guy, and so then they started commenting and the other everyone commenting. So there was like a community of people begging us to have a 25-cent hot dog night. And we were just like, this is so bizarre and random. Like, what is happening? And so I literally have begged my bosses for a whole year to have a 25-cent hot dog night. I like went out and tried to get sponsors. I was like, we're making this happen. And it's happening. And it's and I'm so excited. I already bought my hot dog costume. But like this has been such a thing that I have like vouched for, and I got shot down to the point where people like my boss literally had to be like, Annika, stop. And I'm like, no, never stop. I will never give up. And so I never stopped. And then finally they were like, all right, let's do this thing. And it kind of worked out because it's our last year at this current stadium. So it was kind of like a, we'll never do it again because we're not going to do it in the new stadium. But yeah, I'm really excited and I'm pumped about it. So I'll keep y'all updated.
That's amazing. Yeah, we do dollar dog nights, which me and you have talked about before, and we have
Mm-hmm.
one coming up soon. But this time we're having a max of 5 dogs because
Mm.
last time people were coming up and getting like 20 hot dogs at a time.
Yeah, I heard the Knoxville Smokies had a free hot dog night, and one of my friends went, and she was like, it was chaos. Like, people walking up and being like, 10 hot dogs. And I was like, oh my word.
No, no.
No, I can't. Yeah, no.
Where's the cutoff?
They did have a limit of 10, but like, I can't even imagine like 10 people being in line all asking for 10 hot dogs. Like, your concessions people are dying.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
No, that's rough. That's a
I
rough
think
one.
having a limit of 4, so hopefully that will minimize the chaos.
Adult. Yeah, it makes sense. You can just hand you.
Yeah.
Okay. That's amazing though. Working in sports often comes with long hours and unique challenges. Have you balanced with creativity and fan engagement?
Yeah. I mean, honestly, kind of what we talked about earlier. It is long hours and challenges come up. For example, this year the Lookouts have really, really struggled with weather. We've had 12 rainouts, so that's
Which
fun.
is insane. For reference, we've only had one. We've had two, but one of them was because it was right before All Star break.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, 12 has not been fun. So when you have weather and you have plans to post things and then you don't get to post them 12 times, like that's a lot of content that's just like washed out. And so just trying to like stay creative and then like leaning on trends that like aren't really player content based, or like you can just whip up a graphic of like a funny meme or something, and be relatable. One of my favorite things to do is to like target people that aren't necessarily baseball fans, so like they can relate to what we're posting even if they don't care about baseball or minor leagues or anything to do with that. So really try to use that as like my my lean on when we have weather or things that don't really go our way. But I mean, our, front offices get really tight knit, especially when you work long hours. Like you become a family. You're with each other all day, every day,
Yeah.
all for 6 months. And so, like leaning on them and just being able to confide in them and cry and chug energy drinks when you need to. It's really like you are more than a team, and it's worth like leaning on them when you need it.
Yeah. Two things with that. Have you done stuff for the summer I turned pretty?
Yeah, so actually, it's funny you mentioned that. One of our last rainouts, we posted the a picture of our video board, and it says like the game is delayed due to rain, like you can see that, and then we put this summer it rained every day, and everyone, not only in Chattanooga, but I just feel like in the South, like we've just gotten hit hard.
Yeah.
But everyone was just like relatable, like, and then people, and then you obviously like hashtag Team Conrad just because to
Then
hit those. Yeah, so that was fun.
and kind of alongside that, like how do you balance work life balance, especially being like still so young and being in a lively city?
Yeah, no, that's actually, it's hard. Like, I'm not gonna lie, it really is tough, especially with just like our long hours. And like when we had that 15 games in 20 days stretch where like literally we didn't have a day off for 27 days. And so, like, my entire July, I'm like, people are like, hey, you wanna hang out? And I'm like, can't, you know? And so it's just like, I really try, even on days like after a homestand when I want to just go home and go to bed, I like make it a priority to like go have dinner with my grandparents because they live in town, or I'll go get dinner with a friend that I haven't seen in a while. And like I like make myself, because if I don't, the week's gonna pass by and then another homestand's gonna happen. And so just like really trying to make, but also like it's really important to take care of ourselves because you know how hard it is working those long hours. Just like trying to balance my time with like my friends and my boyfriend and my family, but also like having enough time for me to like rejuvenate and doing things that I enjoy. Like I love to paint, so I'll color and paint a little bit and read my book, and then I'll try to hang out with my friends or do whatever I can when I can.
Yeah. Yeah, me and my friends, me and my roommate, we've decided that we want to host a party every month with our friends in some capacity. So we're about to do a paint and sip.
Oh, so
Our
fun.
friends are gonna have canvases, and we're just gonna paint and drink wine. And then like our October will be murder mystery, and then Friendsgiving, and then like
I
what?
wish I, that
Yeah,
sounds so,
you could just take a little quick flight.
I'm like, hey, I can't come to work.
I think you should vouch. I think you
I will. I
should
will.
vouch. Okay. What advice would you give to someone who wants to pursue a career in digital content or marketing for a sports organization?
Oh gosh. Honestly, like kind of what I said earlier, just do anything that you can to get your foot in the door. Network is super important. Being memorable, I feel like, is really important. Like I said earlier, you want people to know who you are. Introduce yourself to people. Go to a networking event that is out of your comfort zone and just walk up to a stranger and talk about yourself and what you're doing. Yeah, honestly, just not take it so seriously either. Like we don't save lives. We work in baseball. We're a memory making business. Have fun. Enjoy what you're doing. Like I feel like when you work in sports, you have to have a passion for like working, or you're just gonna be miserable. Like the long hours is gonna get to you, and like all the things. You just have to like put yourself out there, and yeah, just build, always want to learn more.
Mm-hmm.
Say yes. Always look to build your skill set. Um I literally took classes on how to do graphics because at one point I was having to do art graphics, and like I never thought I would ever be making a graphic, and I went out of my way to watch these YouTube videos and classes, and just there's always something you can learn. So never think that you're like at your top, because there's always something to learn and people to learn from.
Yeah. And going along that, like working in sports definitely is like I call it my passion project because
Mhm.
it's like you're working on these long hours and you're not getting compensated for it. And I think that sometimes like in the content creation space, like a lot of people give a false narrative.
Mhm.
Like, oh, like I'm doing all this cool stuff, but they're not talking about like the behind the scenes stuff and like how much you're actually going to be making and like the fact that like I have a roommate because it's not like I can live alone kind of thing. Like and it's like I might be living in a really inexpensive city, but also like I want to enjoy my off weekends. I want to go places. I want to be able to travel. And so you really have to kind of figure out your sacrifices and like especially in the baseball space. Like you do not have a summer. And like I've been very fortunate to be where I live because I can take a trip to Philly or DC or Baltimore or New York. Like I'm going to New York tomorrow
Mhm.
for the weekend, but it's like other people, like when I was in Florida, there was no way that I could just be taking trips back home because I'd be getting on a plane.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. I think people always ask me like, "You're rich, right? Like you work in professional baseball," and I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm rich in life, baby.
Yeah.
Like
Yep.
I filled."
My version of rich is definitely different than yours, but
Yeah.
I think,
No, yeah, I do agree with you though. Like we're not in it for the money.
yeah.
But we do not work in sports for the money or for great hours. Like we work in it because this is what we're passionate about and helping people make memories. Like that's what's fulfilling.
Yeah. Yeah. Kind of in the same vein as that, what advice would you have for a woman who is in this industry that might not have like as I'm trying to think of the word. They might not be as lucky to be with a team that supports them.
Yeah, honestly, like my biggest advice is just like know that you deserve to be there. Like we all work hard, and just because you're a woman doesn't mean you don't know as much or you don't deserve anything as much. And like we all deserve a place to feel wanted and valued. And just know that like women in sports are one of the most like encouraging, uplifting, empowering people, and you are not alone, and you can do it, and no one should be able to tell you you can't because we're doing it.
Yep. Yeah. Love it. Couple more questions. If you could go back and give yourself one piece of advice before stepping into sports, what would it be?
Honestly, like I am a perfectionist, and so I put a lot of pressure on myself to be perfect all the time. And working in sports has taught me that like you there's no perfection hardly. And so just don't be so hard. I mean, like I said earlier, we aren't saving lives. We work in baseball. We get to make memories and we get to hand kids baseballs when they're running the bases after the game, and we get to have fun and experience things that other people like. We get to watch fireworks on the field. How cool is that? Like, we don't have to we're not gonna kill anybody if we don't get a post scheduled in time. Like it's gonna be okay. And so I just feel like going into my first and second season, like I put so much pressure on being perfect, and when things didn't go the way that I had planned, it shook me up. And like I'm sure even like with like dealing with promotions and having like people not be where they're supposed to be at the right time or just whatever, like you can't panic. You just got to do it and like just relax, girl.
Yeah. Yeah. There's definitely been many times where I'm running and it feels like I'm running a marathon on a game day. Like there's some days where like I'll literally have like 25,000 steps.
No, yeah, it's crazy.
I'm like that's not normal for anyone else.
Yeah, it's funny you brought that up. Our front offices do, I don't know if I'd mentioned this on our call the other day, but our front office is keeping track of all of our steps every game. And so we're gonna like we're gonna like calculate how much we walked as a front office and see like where we could walk in the world with how many steps we took during the season.
That is
And I
crazy.
mean, we have like a Slack channel where people like send their steps. And our grounds crew, like on double headers, they send like 30,000 steps. And I'm like, what?
Like what's going on?
Like, that's nuts.
Yeah. Yeah, that's insane. Oh, okay. Last question. Looking ahead, what excites you most about where the industry and your role is headed, and even like next season, what you're excited for, that kind of stuff?
Yeah, I mean, in my opinion, like social media is growing so fast, and I feel like everyone is on social media at this point, and it's really amazing the power of digital marketing. I feel like kind of like the other older generations, they don't realize the value in social media and how like we can get word out so quickly through our phones. And it's just like really exciting to know all of the fun things that we can do, especially going into our new ballpark next year. Like, I'm just super excited with like we're gonna have more space and we're gonna be able to do different events and different things. And I'm just super excited about where our entertainment industry is going to like we're gonna get to a whole new level next
Mhm.
year. We can hardly do a bunch of things at our current stadium because it's so small and we don't have the resources. But like next year is going to be so much fun. Social media is going to be so much fun next year. Like we're going to have so much more content than we do, and it's just going to be really great. Like I think all minor league baseball is like really I feel like the Savannah Bananas have kind of like helped escalate our game and be like, "Dang, like we can do more." And I feel like minor league is really we're looking at what other people are doing and we're elevating our entertainment and like I mean people are doing drone shows and like
We were
it's
gonna this year. We will be next year, but
I wanted to or I want to do one next year, but it's a lot of money, so
it
we'll
is,
see.
yeah. We had it basically planned out. We just didn't do the artwork in time.
Mm,
So
yeah, but just like yeah, I'm pumped up. Like I think next year with the technology that we'll have and like video production, social media, it's just gonna be incredible, honestly.
yeah, I agree. I've already been like starting to plan giveaways and stuff, and I'm like, this is so
Mm,
fun. Okay, I love it.
I'm I'm super
Uh,
excited.
yeah. Well, thank you so much for coming on.
It's so much fun. Thanks for having me. I
Of
felt really cool.
course. Yeah, I was like, I have to bring minor leagues into this season.
No, yeah, so fun. I'm honored, so thank you.
um, well, the next episode will be, I believe, with Jake Adams, if not Omar Torres. So those are the next episodes. But yeah.